Sounding so good tonight.
You too. 73s. Have a great Sunday.
Same back to you.
All right, ready or not, it's the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Brought to you by RADIO, that radio thing. Wow, everything is turned up to 11, I think, so we only have more to go. The Old Tube Radio Network, your Saturday night place to be, if you were to be anywhere on a Saturday night, right here on Channel 11, or at oldtuberadio.net, the video stream, the audio stream, and everywhere in between. Hello, my name is Dennis, one of the many net controllers to sit in the air chair of the Old Tube Radio Network, where we promote the use and distribute information about old tube radios on your Citizen Band 11 meter service. We will be checking in and talking to our tube radio collectors who will be driving by tonight in their latest and greatest radios of the 1950s, 60s, and 70s with those glow-in-the-dark items of interest. Also, our shortwave listeners will be stomping by tonight, and you also checking in. You can leave us a note at oldtuberadio.net, jump in on the video side, ask a question, do whatever it is that you need to do. What I need to do right now is to see if we have any early check-ins.
Crawdad 109 with an early check-in.
Okay, we've got a couple to do here. We have Crawdad 109. Thanks for stopping by and jumping by the radio. We've got 96 out in Kerman, Prune Picker, and 77 10 17. Who else needs an early check-in?
Blake?
24.
All right, SWL 24. Joseph, we've got you checked in on the early side here, live and direct. Over.
Good evening, Dennis.
Hello, the legend, Mr. 53. I'm going to get you checked in. Over.
Yeah, thank you there, Dennis. Yeah, 53, Fresno Legend, checking in. 73, brother, everybody have a good Sunday. Bye-bye.
All right, we will indeed do that. I think I have some levels to set on the receive side, but other than that, all is going well. Directed net roll call. It is raining here in the Central Valley. I think it's raining in the north and southern parts of California. It might be raining where you are, but we will endeavor to keep our SWRs in place as we check in the radios tonight. Double Zero is with us over at oldtuberadio.net on the video site, so stop by and say hello to Chrissy. Let her know that all is well. Thanks for checking in. Also, SWL number 1 on the Cosmic check-in, and I think I may need to get a proxy check-in for SWL number 2, which I will, Mr. OBP. Also want to get SWL 69. Kenny is in listening tonight. There's a couple of stations that need to get in early. And I'll make sure I get to all of them as they show up tonight. The Old Tube Radio Network. We are also checking in. Let's see, SWL3 is in. SWL5, did Levon make it over? Did you make it over from old Radio Night? I think they're still going. We might have one of those live coast-to-coast back and forth tonight. Yeah, Levon is in there. SWL5 got you checked in. Let's try Mr. Ed, SWL7. I will get a proxy in for Mr. Ed. He may be stopping by a little bit later tonight. Let me get 79 while I see you on the screen there from Riverdale. Not Riverdance, but Riverdale. So 79 is checked in. Did I mention you don't need a secret handshake, a special hat, a number to stop by and say hello radio? We will certainly say hello back. SWL 57, Mr. Brown Dog Audio is going to be hitting the sack early tonight, so 57, I will get you checked in. If you're watching on the replay, you are checked in tonight. Let's see, what's on my list here? We've got 10 as 00, and the dynamic duo of SWL 11 and SWL 12, Mr. Cornbread and Dapper Dan. Dapper Dan could be the co-host, I think. In his dapperness, we could do a dapper duo, I think. Anyway, Dapper Dan checking in, looking dapper, feeling dapper from the air chair with his special hat, even though you don't need it. If you got one, where? 11 and 12 are in SWL 13. That is Mikey. He is not in yet, so we'll hold on for that. Let's go out to Sangertown for shortwave listener 14. Hopefully the rain isn't causing too much havoc with power outages. It hasn't been that bad yet, but it's supposed to just rain for the next couple of days. What is the weather like? Far, far away in various far-off lands, perhaps it is bright and sunny. The sun coming up in Copenhagen tonight. Hans is checking in. And yeah, there's a chicken. I had a chicken, but I didn't bring it. Maybe next week. I think we can have dueling chickens from the old Radio Night. Thank you, Alpha 173, for joining us tonight. You are checked in. SWL 16, I think I see Charlie peeking around behind the monitors here tonight, helping out, make sure that if something blows up, it won't blow up for long. And as always, yeah, we are looking forward to the radios tonight as well. Thank you, Charlie. SWL 17. Got some extra cables on the table that are creating a problem here. I've got a check-in from Facebook from Mr. KDA. And from beautiful Derby, New York, by way of Belfast, Maine, on the cue cards as always. And on the accordion tonight? Playing the accordion, I don't know. Are we going to have music tonight? Don't get me in trouble with the YouTube police on copyrighted stuff. Chet is checked in. Let's see if we've got anybody out there on the west side, SWL 20.
Oh, yes, I'm here. Number 20. Please check in 29 and 54 also, and I'll have a radio of interest tonight.
All right, a radio of interest is a good thing. We like that kind of stuff. The radio's sounding good. You are sounding loud tonight, so thanks for joining us over.
Ready? Yeah, I still have to clean the tube sockets of this radio. I have not checked any of the tubes. It does what it does the way it is. So I have a little problem with the microphone, but mainly it's tube sockets I have to clean. So I'll get out my tube socket cleaner and do that. But I didn't have time tonight. So anyway, you get it this way. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, sounds good. No problem. Nice and loud, actually. I was having to adjust my audio, incoming audio levels a little bit because it was so loud, and it is the good type of loud.
Roger. Okay. Yeah, the microphone's got bad relays in it in the D104, so I have to take it apart in the handle there and clean it. Didn't have time. Anyway, yeah, I couldn't believe how this works. There's my standard cough. Okay, we'll get back to you later on. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, thank you. Yeah, it's working well. Trying not to break all my controls here. We're going to try and do a live coast to coast, or is it ghost to ghost, link up here tonight. Let me head over to Old Radio Night, where tonight it is the Get Your Channel Link Galaxy Saturn Old Tube Radio. I'm going to bring up the audio. There is going to be the weird loop, but we'll see if we can do that here.
In from South Carolina. Hey, go ahead there, Jed.
Hello, everyone. 183 Charleston, South Carolina, checking in.
All right, got 21.
Charleston, South Carolina, checking in.
Charles in South Carolina on channel 17 tonight.
Try one more time, 85.
85, Charleston, South Carolina.
10-4. Okay, have a good night, Dennis.
All right, the radio's looking good. We are chicken approved. The Saturn radio is looking good, and the gang from the Old Radio Night has checked in, a live check-in, coast to coast. You can only do it here on Old Radio Night and the Old Tube Radio Network. I don't know. I'm not sure how we do it, and without having things explode on the other end. Anyway, thank you, 21. We've got you checked in for sure. Over to SWL 22. Looking on my list to see if I see Alaskan tonight. I see Ware Shoals, South Carolina, Centerville, Virginia, Middleton, Ohio, Shinston, West Virginia, Toledo, Ohio, Plymouth, Minnesota. Copenhagen is in front row with our crew here tonight. So no Alaska yet tonight. It's probably a little bit cold to be on there. I will give Tyler a check-in. All right, let's get rid of the audio that we don't need. Over to, I got to get my list. It should be SWL 23. 23's could do. Got to do all the ready updates and items of interest tonight. SWL 24 checked in live moments ago. SWL 25 with a proxy check-in performing tonight up in the mountains. The Donnie Reb Band et al. Doing a good job. So, Jerry, if you watch the replay, you on 74 are checked in. Let's go to page 2 for SWL 27. Crossband is up tonight. The Echo link is up tonight. Let me do a check, if I can find the screen here, of the output in the REA meter. Boy, we've got a lot of audio coming in tonight. The Orban meter looks good, and all is well on a Saturday evening at the Old Tube Radio Network. Out to Sacramento, where I bet it is raining. You guys might be getting more rain than we are here in Fresno tonight. I know some. I saw the Redding station saying it was pouring up there. Sitting by the fire with the dad's root beer, waiting for another one-of-a-kind show. So am I. Just anything where it doesn't involve things breaking and smoke, and it is raining there. It's raining up and down California. Thanks, Gary. We will get you checked in, and a little bit of root beer. I'm not a big root beer fan. I mean, you know, in the days of A&W and Dad's and what was the other one? There was another Hires root beer, I think. I never did like root beer that much, but it's not bad if you make a root beer float. Then it's an okay thing. SWL 29, got to check in for Mr. Loner. And likewise, up there in Idaho, you know, we had some conditions a couple nights ago. I talked to Radio Randy out of Phoenix. So I noticed the beacons were coming in, and we were on 40 meters and popped up to 10 meters about this time. So keep your ears open. Keep the DX window happening. In fact, let me look at the DX map right now. We'll head over to the DX map, and it shows there's a couple openings. Texas, out there in Arkansas, Oklahoma, almost going up to 6 meters. So it might be something specific. I don't see anything heading out to the West Coast, but that doesn't mean that there won't be. So hang on. SWL 31, SWL 32, shortwave listener 33, myself and Bozo Control, the honking proboscis, and everyone around here that would like to get checked in. SWL 34, Jimmy, and I have not been on Facebook at all today to see what is going on with all the various sites, but if you're joining us from one of the sites, one of the CB sites on Facebook, and thank Jimmy for that, and say hello, radio. Alto to Al, checking in, lots of rain in Concord. Av Echolink, what is the call sign? Let me give you the Echolink node. It is 94810. I believe it is 94810. Give that a try on your nodie list and see if that comes up with something. Let's go to SWL 35. Mr. Bill is out there. Checking in from cool Cheyenne. He doesn't say it's snowing. Doesn't say it's raining. But he does say it's cool, and it's cool, you know, it's cool, and cool. Anyway, Mr. Bill from Red Monkey Communications doing a good thing, keeping people on the air. SWL 36. Shortwave listener 37.
SWL 37 here, Des. Thank you.
All right, thanks for joining us here on a Saturday evening, a good evening to be inside by the radios.
Well, you know, it took an awful lot for me to get up to come in here. All right, Des, thank you.
All right, well, it's not that far away, but at least it is in the same house, so that's good. You didn't have to drive anywhere.
That is true. Had to walk 4 steps.
Yeah, well, walking can be a good thing. 37 is in. We are heading out to Byron, where I'm sure it's raining as well. See what Sam is doing. Just wanted to listen, see if we got some ground wave propagation. Sam, I know you're listening. I will check you in. Let's try SWL 39. Hello to United Delta X-Ray 4570 out there in Palm Springs, where they are getting ready for, I don't think it's happened yet, maybe it's happening this weekend, the modern weekend, mid-century modern, what is it, the modernization something. We go through all the cool houses. You know, go see if Frank Sinatra is still playing his reel-to-reel tape deck. All right, and we've got you in Sam. SWL 40, hello, radio.
SWL 40 here, enjoying the fantastic DX conditions daily here.
Yeah, it's been good. And I've got, let's go to the screen. I think we have the Larry Cam up tonight. Let me see if we got audio. Sam, SWL 40, hello, radio. Wow, you definitely overload the front end on that. We are here. The delay is probably about 10 seconds. That's good. Sometimes it's good to have a delay. The signal that is, there it is. That's why you need 80 kilohertz. To see your own signal on the out of inches. That'll be coming up later, so if you've got a tube radio, we'll be able to take a look at where it's at on frequency, how it stays on frequency, and the greatness of the audio therein. So thanks, Larry, for doing that. Hopefully the power stays on where you are.
Oh, the power will stay on.
Yeah, all right. Raining here in Central California this evening. Raining up and down the entire state. It's supposed to be raining for the next couple of days. That's not a bad thing. We need some rain. SWL 41. Road Dog 507. Somebody needed an early check-in. I don't know if it was Road Dog, but we will get you checked in. And from up in the hills, the secret hilltop location 8 miles north of Pikes Peak at 89,999 and 99.44 100ths feet and inches up there. Chasing DX from all the way from 10 meters, 11 meters down to 160. Looking good tonight. We are probably going to get some, this is kind of a medium cold storm, so we will be getting some probably 7,000, 6,000 foot snow tonight. But Rob, it is good to see you on frequency tonight. Let's show, I know this is not an accurate picture, but that's the antennas. Those are the antenna system, the forces of focusing elemental devices that are pointing our way tonight to see if we can't tune in the old tube radio network from Woodland Park. Thanks for stopping by tonight. We are looking for SWL 42. SWL 43. From up in the hills, out that way, SWL 44. All right, 44 checking in. You're sounding good through the rain and stuff tonight. We've got you checked in. Thanks for listening. Over.
Comment.
This is a comment frequency. Over.
Yeah, for those of you listening to this, tuning into the waterfall stream there, the SDR stream, the sound you're hearing that sounds like a wind blowing. That's a noise that's in my area. It sounds very much like a stormy day on the SDR. I just thought I'd mention that.
Okay, I just brought it in there quickly, and of course, when you're transmitting, you wipe it out. But other than that, it does have kind of a high-pitched little whine or something like that. So maybe that will go away, and I don't know if it's possible to noise blanket out, but that's okay. A lot of times we are not listening to the audio, but we're watching the picture. But I know there are some stations that are tuned in at Larry's 785 to see what is going on with the stream. Thanks for that. SWL 45, Paul and Kelly. Hope you guys are listening and staying warm up there. Got a fire going. We are checking you in here. Thanks for stopping by. SWL 46. Shortwave listener 47. I hope Michael is not out on he can't be out on the motorcycle tonight. That would not be a good thing to do. Jake from State Farm is waving from the Pacific Northwest and listening in. We might get some conditions tonight. You just never know. Foxman 362, hello radio to you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Mark Sandquist is also in. On the video side, Private Thor and the gang. We will try and check in. I do believe we have the satellite uplink is running. Looks good. We will see if we can't find you later. Oh, there's a big cracking noise, but nothing fell over. SWL 48, Sammy, if you are listening, I will get you checked in. SWL 49. SWL 50. Ken Carlock, hello. Thanks for joining us tonight. SWL 51. Dave out in Sanger, SWL 51. Well, we'll take Sanger. We're looking to Sanger. The breaker, go ahead.
Yeah, 14 checking in from Sanger. You were a little faster than me tonight, so I wasn't able to check in on time.
Hey, not a problem. We heard. Oh wow, something just really went bad with my internet stream audio. So let me fix that. I think I'm okay on the transmitted side. Yeah. Well, I was just looking for Sangertown 305, and you popped in. So perfect timing.
Yeah, I gotta turn down my RF gain. So I was right here close to it.
Indeed. All right, and now my audio. I hope we don't do this again tonight with the audio back and forth thing. But you are sounding good. We have you checked in. I know it is a little bit wet outside, but the signals are traveling quite nicely.
Yeah, we'll catch you in a little bit.
All right, the old Tube Radio Network real radios glowing in the dark, and we will be having those glow-in-the-dark radios coming by in not too long from now. Let's see. Let's get back to Fresno for SWL 52.
Yeah, good evening, Dennis, and all of the SWLs out there. SWL 52 behind the golden microphone. Don't forget to feed the Charlie Alpha Tango.
We will certainly try to do that. I noticed, but I didn't see it or check into it, that there was a Saturday afternoon video tonight. What frequencies were frequented?
Well, I was messing around on 40 meters a little bit. I made a contact with an aeronautical mobile on 20. I've worked on before on 10 meters, so that was cool to pick them up on a new band. And then I was trying to work a DXpedition on 17 meters and couldn't get a hold of them, and so then I tried to work them on 30 meter FT8 and couldn't get a hold of them on there, and then I gave up and went to dinner.
All right. Well, he did make some good contacts. It's always fun to get an aeronautical mobile because all bets are off when your height above average terrain is at 20,000 feet. And I guess on the Airbus, if they're on automatic pilot, they can actually turn the Harris radio onto, especially obviously if they have to be a ticketed or licensed ham radio operator, they can get the Harris radios dialed in, and there's some type of antenna that they've got on the wing or on the tail, and it is a fun thing. So good you got into that, and it was 20 meters, so it was upper sideband. I think if you're on 40, you got to listen to them on upper as well. All right, good deal. I will tune in to the feed a little later.
Roger.
All right, we are directing that roll call. I want to get Neil checked in, SWO 147, while he's here, and I forget, a little later than usual. Cold evenings, but nice afternoons. Had a show last night, but conditions have been good this week. Dr. Jazz and Kakalaki. Yeah, good DX. We've got you checked in. And also, earlier, the legend, Mr. Belair, Bob, SWL 53, checking in. Finding page 4, where I will endeavor to get Mr. Boardjammer checked in and give a call out for SWL 55.
55 checking in, Dennis. Sorry about the Roger beep. I can't turn it off before I lose all my audio.
Oh no! All right. Well, we'll make believe that you were on the Apollo 17. Wow, heading for the moon, but checking in before you get there. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's go over to SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. 56, just for kicks.
Just for kicks? I need to kick this audio board. That is, my apologies to the digital SWLs. All of a sudden, it just goes into full audio output. I don't know what's happening with that. But you, on the other hand, sir, are sounding good, and we've got you checked in tonight. Speaking of checking in, let me make sure that I get SWL41, Mr. Road Dog 507, checked in on the bands tonight. Of course, always from the Tri-County React out in Hudson Valley. RD 507, you are looking good, and we've got you checked in. Over. Also, Jake from State Farm. Hello to you. Thanks for joining us on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. We are looking for SWL 57. And Brown Dog Audio wanted an early check-in tonight, and I did give him one. I see I've got that ready to go. So, Mr. BDA, we got you checked in from Central Kentucky. Hey, and speaking of checking in, Mr. OBP, SWL2 is here. And looking good. Yeah, you know what? I've got to put I've got a problem here for the internet. I'm going to unplug something. Let me find the space here. Something is totally not good. All right. Hello, radio. I believe that is my feed here. All right. Radio. All right. I do not know why. How about this? Oh, okay, that's it. I think I got a bad input control. Radio test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now I'll get the meters off the screen. Technical weirdness. And it's only affecting, I've got audio out to the stream, I've got an audio to the radio, and there are different items, and I can hear my ear, that one's going left. All right, back to the radio, and of course, as soon as I key up, one more time. Is it that? I don't know. I don't know what's causing the issue. Let's go to SWL 58. SWL 59, I know that 59 is in there. I saw Uncle Hairball from his appearance from Old Radio Night, and over here to the Old Tube Radio Network. I got UDX 786 checked in. Thanks. Let's go to SWL 60. And Joe should join us sometimes tonight. SWL 61, Dino checked in earlier, trying to stay out of the rain.
61, check it in, Dennis.
And he's still there. You've got the umbrella wired up, and it's sounding good.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
All right, radio. I don't know what is. Wow, that is just crazy on the stream. Let's go to SWL 62. SWL 63. And 362. I need more than deoxin. You have to pull it out. I need like the dumpster. I need the dumpster for this audio board, but we have a replacement coming in, believe it or not. SWL 64, Craig. Out there in 9 land. Saying hello, radio. There he is. Put the X in the square for 64. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Over to SWL 65. SWL 65. I will get 65 with a proxy check. And we'll get Eric proxied in tonight. SWL 66. Shortwave listener 67. I will get Bill in Oregon checked in. Hopefully the internet is working. I may end up seeing if I can patch around that. Maybe I got a bad pot there. I may end up patching around that. SWL 68. And ladies and gentlemen, since I'm on the 60s, let me go to SWL 62. King Duckford is back from his tour, around the world. I'm glad you got the ship docked and are back here on the Old Tube Radio Network. You're looking good. Yeah, that's what I'll do. You gotta pull out about 100 knobs. You gotta pull 100 knobs off the thing and then unscrew the thing, and then you can put the deoxit and the good stuff in there. But after roll call, maybe I'll try different input. Heading out to the stream. All right, we've got 62 is in, 67, 68, 69. Kenny, I know you were there earlier. We got you checked in, but I'll make it official here in the 69 area. There you go. And let's go to SWL 70. Radio. I may have a bad EQ control. SWL 71. Stan is out there from Dallas, Georgia. Saw him on my list not too long ago. There is a CW contest. It's a worldwide, and I don't know if it's just on 40 meters, because when it came on, you could look at the SDR, look at the waterfall, and all of a sudden the whole end of the band from 7 megs up to, 7125 or 7100 just lit up with the little CW beacons, the CQ test beacons going on. So big CW contest. Get out your J38 keys tonight. Caller Radio checking in. See you on my display screen. Thanks for stopping by the Old Tube Radio Network. Coming and going with extra audio. We have extra audio flavor tonight. Over to SWL 72. SWL 73. I've got a proxy check-in for SWL 74. From Johnson, Rhode Island, SWL 76. Dennis, 1017, checked in early. He might be back to the radio a little bit later. Wild Wildemar, where it is probably wild and wet Wildemar, SWL 78. And Mr. DC, SWL 79, got him checked in early, but we'll check him in again. SWL 80. I'm going to stand by for just a second here. All right, I am going to try something. I'm going to move this over to 9. 9 and 10. Radio 9 and 10. It's my output. Hello. Do I have some internet stream audio now? Yeah, it's weak, but I might go with that. I don't know why it's so weak, but we do a little trickery. Here. Hello, bring up some low frequency. All right, radio. Hello, test. All right, and a little mid-range test radio. All right, 6-7, and do the balance control. All right, we'll try that. Let me put up the REA, the Orban. That's my -17. All right, it might not be, EQ might not be right, but I think that will stop going into wacky compression. All right. Back. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I got some RF getting into something. As soon as I transmit, that's the deal. Okay, it's related to a transmitter function. So, maybe some RF getting in, don't you think, or don't you? Let's go to, first of all, you know what we need to do? I need to feed the fish. Maybe that's it. If you forget to feed the fish, these things can happen. Let's go to SWL 81. So you know what? It is not. It is probably not that connection. It is something to do with some RF getting in somewhere. Let's go to SWL 82.
82 checking in from the Ditch Banks, Biola. Good evening.
And good evening time. Sounding good from the ditch. The ditch banks that I take it are definitely not very dry at the moment. There's no dust.
No dust. All the water's draining into them and into the reservoir and out to the river, and yep, there we go.
Sounding good. A reminder that when you do feed the fish, especially on a Friday evening, come on up to 36 lower sideband, 27,365 on at 8 p.m. on Friday evenings, and listen for that voice that you just heard, and join in the Ditch Banks sideband net for a check-in and a rousing time. Anyway, thanks for doing that, Ron, and we'll see you on Friday.
All right, and thanks for running this fabulous net tonight.
All right, yeah, I'm trying. I've got some technical difficulties on the audio output to the stream, and it is driving me nuts in my headphone. But I think the over-the-air is sounding good. So I'll go back to the one I know that works. Let's go to SWL 83. SWL, I'll get the group checked in. SWL 84, heard him on the noontime net. We'll also get Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and Snowy Owl in as well here on the directed net roll call. We will be talking with the glow-in-the-dark radios coming up here in just a little bit after the roll call. Over to SWL 89. SWL 90. SWL 91. I think I saw Felix out there. And indeed, he is saying hello radio to the old tube radio operators, the SWLs, who still have their hearing left. I don't know. We know over the Universal Media Netweb, they may automatically limit your audio to a certain dBm. So maybe it doesn't matter what I feed out here. It'll just get chopped up and be what it is. All right, is Mr. Roman joining us tonight? SWL 92. Over to SWL 93. SWL 95. I think Jim is out there from beautiful Orlando tonight. Good evening, everyone. Also joining us from the planet of resistance, Sherlock Holmes. I'm sorry. Let's do this. Let's do a take two, as we were saying. Sherlock Holmes. Just like read the script, Dennis. It's right there in front of you. Little fish fry. No, feed the fish. Not cook the fish. Don't forget to feed the fish. And if you want to cook them, that's up to you. SWL 96, Mr. Prune Picker checked in moments ago. Out to Boston, where I don't know. It could be snowing in Boston. Who knows? SWL 97, Jim, if you're out there, we will get you checked in. SWL 98. Hello, Tracy. Tracy is joining us on the video side tonight. Maybe listening in on the audio as well. I don't know. Maybe you're tuning into the stream or somewhere. SWL 99. I will give Randy a very early check-in. Talk to Randy out there in Phoenix on 10 meters. A couple days ago, we had some great conditions for that little e-skip that happened. All right, let me see. Let me see if I can check in, try something that works here. The Echo Link SWL 100. We'll see if Tony is joining us and that we are ready for tubes on the air and all of that good stuff. KD4BAO, KB6GFD. Never know if that Echo Link is going to come up, but here it is.
Good evening, Dennis. Please check in SWL 100. Nice to hear you. No problem with your audio and echo link. Back to net control, KD4BAO.
All right. Well, that's good. The echo link is working. It sounds good for everybody. Thanks for joining us. I know you were getting ready to do the tubes on the air activation, and that should be coming up in a couple of minutes. Thanks for joining us, KB6GFD. All right, SWL 100 is in. Over to 102. Oops, I clicked the button and 900 things just lit up. SWL 102. John is joining us from Scranton, Arkansas. Hello, Dennis. Yeah, hello. And all the shortwave listeners and tube radio operators as well. Thanks for checking in. Over to shortwave listener 103 from South Carolina. See if Joey is out there tonight. And let's see, who was it? They thought the SWL, single women listening. Now that is on a different program. That is a different net, and you may have to have a secret handshake for that one. I'm not sure. just be careful. If you're a shortwave listener, you are in the right place. Let's go over to SWL 109. Crawdad checked in earlier. Out doing those Saturday night things. Let's go to SWL 110. SWL 111. Robert checked in earlier over at oldtuberadio.net. He's probably hear him on the pre-audio stream, but I was probably not at the microphonium one at that time. All right, who's joining us? I saw Liberty Lake. Hello to Liberty Lake, Washington. Talked to Washington last night on 40 meters. Good hop. I mean, the local stuff goes away, but the link into British Columbia and Washington really comes up when the sun goes down at about 9 or 10 o'clock. Over to, where are we? 111, SWL 113. SWL 114.
114 checking in.
All right, 114 checking in. You're sounding good, Wayne. Keep out the umbrella. You're going to need it for the next couple of days.
You're right. Thank you for the check-in.
113 here.
All right, hey, 113. I thought I heard you come in at the same time, and you can actually hear me, huh?
It's pretty tough, pretty rough, but I got the RF gain adjusted as best I can.
Yeah, you got the clip leads, the RF gain, and you've added an extra 20 feet to the antenna temporarily to hear the Midtown Fresno mud duck. You are sounding good, sir.
On the old road, man. All right, I need to talk to that lady about that antenna, so we'll have to talk when the weather gets good, and we'll get that thing down.
All right, very good. Yeah, I checked in with Mr. Holden too, and he may have some tricks up his sleeve. But likewise, it's a rain thing going on for the next couple of days at least.
All right, okay. Thanks for the check-in. Talk to you later.
All right, so sounding good from way out there, and thanks for stopping by tonight. 113 is in, 114 is in, and I just saw who is on my screen saying hello, radio. Joey, SWL 103, waving from South Carolina, Tango Romeo X-Ray, or Tango Romeo 21 X-Ray. Let me put the 103 tag up there once again. Did get you checked in. And yeah, there's a static sound. Sometimes the audio goes up. There is a something out of that less than stellar audio board. There's either a power supply issue or the effects channel is bleeding through and is causing that sort of digital whine. So I'm working on that too. But I hear that as well in the headphoniums. I think that's only on the Universal Media Net website. But There are. So it's one of the many problems here with German. What is it? Behringer, German engineered audio put together in China. I think that may have an issue. We are looking for SWL 128. And John, he was there. It says 44 minutes ago, and I think that was probably 44 minutes ago. But Fairfax, Virginia is in. And sounding good tonight on the Old Tube Radio Network. SWL 131. SWL 133. Shortwave listener 135.
Hello. If this thing is working, this is SWL 135. If it's not working, we'll find out.
It is working very nicely, and we will all find out in moments when we start glowing in the dark, so don't go away. And Bass Horseman 99, thank you for confirming what I am constantly finding out. Yeah, they're good. They're good for a couple of years. They really are, and then things just start happening. So that's why if you need a 4-channel audio board, you should order a 16-channel audio board and just keep moving your connections as the inputs, as the buses fail on you. Let's go to SWL 137. All right, and Sherlock, we will hear more of that nice audio, because I do believe that was a portent of tube radios to come from 135. Did Tony check in earlier? Are you there, Tony? We'll try a live check-in if not. Tony was in earlier. So I will get Tony checked in, and were I to be quick on, this is interesting. Were I be to quick on the radio trigger, we can find out. We should have some questions of the day. Here we go. Friday's questions from his net that he does. I got 2 questions. The Morse code, little Morse code questions if you're studying for your test here. The Morse code waves, WAVES, produced by spark gap transmitters were called what kind of waves? I don't know. It's just interference. The Morse code waves produced by spark gap, which I've never heard. I've seen a spark gap transmitter, so all the neighborhood listening to your CW, and the kind of waves were called damped waves. Damped if you do, and damped if you don't. That's why we don't use a spark gap anymore. All right, question number 2. Here we go. Everybody knows this answer. Maybe not. The WRL company manufactured which globe transmitter? Of course, WRL, World Radio Labs, maker of the infamous Blue Hustler. Like I said, they sort of stepped over to 11 meters, but what they were good at, the WRL company, were their globe transmitters. So which globe transmitter? Well, there's a whole bunch. It says a Scout 65. But they had a Globe King and a Globe Champion, so I don't know what significance the Scout 65 has, unless it was a novice transmitter. But the Scout, the Globe Scouts, were one of the transmitters. And, of course, the Hustler, which we might actually hear tonight. All right, we are continuing on. Tony is in. SWL 147. Neil is in from moments ago. And let's jump up to Bobby, Mr. Snowbeast, SWL 188.
Good evening time, Dennis. Good evening time to all SWLs. 188 checking in.
188, you are sounding good. The rain has not messed up your SWR's 1-bit, sounding good.
10-4, thank you. Evening time.
All right, thanks for that. Yeah, the radio's by the pound. If you can't pick it up or you need a dolly with wheels, it's probably an HT-37 or a Viking Valiant or even worse, right? The BC-610, or if it's the size of a refrigerator, It might have the Collins logo on it. Let's go up the hill. Did I check in 195 early tonight? I don't remember. Hello, Jim. SWR 195? All right, I might have got him in early. And then SWR 226, Mr. Shockwave. All right, I think that's it. Anybody else? Say hello, radio, coming in. See you online. So, yeah, thanks for joining us. I'm going to take a minute or two, check all the cabling. Yeah, I think if I had a Globe, what I need here is a Globe Ping 500. I believe I would just need the 27085 crystal, and then nobody would have problems hearing me. But I probably would need the refrigerator dolly to move that thing around, and then a nice receiver. All right, we're going to do two radios. I will be back shortly, and when we do things, we'll be glowing in the dark. We'll see what things break and what things don't, and we'll have a good time on the Old Tube Radio Network. Oh, and Red Fox 176, I see you. I was just about ready to get out of the air chair, and I noticed your item of interest, so I'm putting X in the square, and you know what I'm going to do? We're going to come back on camera so that I can get your official 76. Where's it? Right there. If it'll light up, yeah, up in the screen. And where it is, right there. There it is. There it is, right there. All right, we'll be back in a moment. The Old Tube Radio Network.
And for those listening on the stream, the check-in stream has stopped, and the SDR view stream is now begun on YouTube.
All right, I think we might be back in some form. Oh, and now there's no... Oh, I know why. Hold on. The jingle singers have disappeared. I don't know where they are. Why? Why is the jingle singers? Wow. All right, maybe that's... Hello. Well, there's the new audio feed. Isn't that convenient? All right, let me turn that down. So let me try that. And let me get a little bit of low flavor. Yeah, a little bit of flavor there. And maybe we don't need all that. All right. Sorry, doing a little technical something or other here. Low test radio 6-7. All right. I think I got my control room audio back. Hang on, I don't know where the jingle singers went. Oh, okay, they're over here. 7. All right, let's try that. I think this might be the jingle singers. Here we go.
OTR. 27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Hey, despite my best efforts, we are on the air. And the main thing is that we are here to talk about and display those tube radios. For those of you who may not have been around at the time they were brand new in the box, smelling the dust burning off the tubes, maybe you had one and would like to live vicariously through our tube radio operators as they check in that radio that, that's the one I used to have, that's the one I wanted. That's what we will do. And so without any further ado, I will unkey and say it is time for the radios, so let's go.
135, 135.
All right, I've got two. I've got 14 and 135. Sean, jump into the green room. We will get you in one moment. But stepping up into the air chair right now is Mr. Green Arrow. Hello, radio.
Oh, good. That means I can get out of here early and not freeze to death. Okay, I get, it's my turn then?
It is your turn over.
Hey, Groovy, from out here in the lands, in the CB Cabana, this is SWL 135 on a radio from Winnisquam, New Hampshire. Yes, I did say hamster. This is the Tram Titan 2 Alpha. That's the Tram Titan number 2 Alpha, also known as the Canadian version A. Okay, so what's up with this thing? There are 15 tubes, but all 23 channels, AM, upper and lower sideband. Oh, and the microphone here is an unamplified gray bass D104. Back to you.
All right, Tram Titan 2A. I've got the shot. If I've got the right one, that definitely looks a little different. It looks more like a 1970s stereo with the wood sides. And I think that was the first Tram, maybe, trying to make it look like it should be in the house, but in the living room. I don't know what that is on the top. Might have to bring out the lemon pledge for this radio. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. It's wood all the way around. The entire case is made of press board. On the sides, there are photographs of wood, but but that ain't wood. On the top is some sort of black vinyl, but it's all pressboard, within, without, and roundabout. Oh, Russ, what else was I going to say? Well, why not? Let's get onto this. You're just about 40 over on my meter. It goes to 60, and I say you're about 40 over. So it's receiving quite well. I hope it is transmitting well as well. And I might be the teeniest bit low in frequency from what I was hearing earlier. Back to you.
All right, well, we will see. I can switch over to the Larry cam, and let's see if I can see his frequency chart. Yeah, it looks like you said the teeniest bit low. We have audio?
Switch over to the
Larry cam. All right, we'll get that, so we can hear you. So, yeah, you are just a bit low, but the bass line, the carrier line looks pretty good. I don't see any, bad power supply issue going on. The radio itself sounds good, looks good, getting some good comments from the shortwave listeners. In tram style, you have to think. You have to have that left brain, right brain, right? Your left brain for the transmitter and your right brain for the receiver, because there's two knobs, over.
That much is true. Here, let me see if I can do something about this. There. Are you still looking at Larry's thing? Am I a little bit better?
All right, let me swap over. Oh, look at that. You can see it moving. It's moving up, and then it went up, and then it slightly went back. So you could do that same amount of tweak, and maybe about half as much. You'd be right on, over.
Okay, because this has an adjustable transmit knob. It's actually two concentric knobs. One's for the sideband frequency adjustment, and this one here is for the AM. I have to be quiet. There, how's that? I have to be quiet.
He's being quiet, and he moved it, and he moved it, and then you're going to see me. You're going to see me come in, and that line should be right with my transmitter. Look at that.
And he moved it, and he moved it.
Look at that. All right, perfect. Don't touch it, over.
Okay, yeah, going up is a little harder than going down for some reason. I don't know what the deal is, but it has a lot of travel going down in frequency. I can actually tune this thing down to 803, like 0.7 or something like that. It goes way down, but going up, I have to give it a little more push. And according to my freaky counter, it's at 085.2. So I'm reading a little high, but Larry earlier said that that was about where it should be. And I don't know why it dropped over time. It's been on for quite a while. And it seems to still be working good. And halfway decent audio, even with the unamplified D104 there, question mark?
Yeah, it's the typical Tram 2 audio is very bright, very punchy. And I don't know if they did, when they made that radio, if they went and they did some coupling caps to roll off the bass a little bit to make it to sound more like a Browning. Could be the D104 microphone, but it's nice you're getting some good comments from the listeners on the audio. So I don't think you need to touch anything. It's nice, bright, and punchy. It looks good on the stream. Oh, you know what? Do I have that? I'll bring it up. Take another transmission. I want to see how wide it's getting. You got a lot of high frequencies, so it should push the limits of its filter. And speaking of that, what do you think about the receive? The Tram is usually noted for the receive. They rival the Brownings all the way around. So I'm just curious what you think about the radio as a whole. Over.
Oh yeah, very good receive. That's why I was saying you're like about 40 over on this thing, which is very good. It goes up to 60, but the confusing thing for me is that it seems to be this whole series of trams is backwards to the earlier trams, in that The transmit channels are on the left. That's the left control, and the receive VFO is on the right. And I still am not completely used to that. It gets confusing because, you know, I've got the other trams, right? So I'm used to them being on exactly the opposite sides. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say. The stereo thing. This thing looks so much like my. I have an old Sherwood stereo. It's a Sherwood. I can't remember the name of it. It's a quad something. You know, it does quadraphonic sound. Wow. And it looks so much like this. But it's even smaller, believe it or not. This is a huge radio. I think it's the biggest single-piece radio that I've got. Back to you.
All right, and good it is. Let me bring up the audio.
I think it's the biggest single-piece radio that I've got. Back to you.
So you can hear the punchy audio. There's a little bit of static, but that's from Larry. And I'm looking. You have a full 6K bandwidth, and there's edges out to 4K on either side. And you can see there at the baseline there is not a lot of low frequencies, probably rolling off 250 hertz on either side, but it's really bright and good at the 4K 6K area. So not an issue at all. Looks good, sounds good. It is the Tram Titan 2A, and let me go back to the Rolodex to see if I have any other info. More than what you gave. Let's see, 1971. It is in Sam's PhotoFax CB40, it looks like. We've got a wiring diagram for the audio. Number 1 audio, 2 shield, 3 receiver, 4 transmit. $498, $500 in 1941. So obviously it was their top of the line. Triton 2A added a nice wood cabinet and some electrical updates, especially a bigger, better modulator final tube. I don't have the tube complement. 15 tubes. Wow, 15 diodes, Collins mechanical filter in the front end. So yeah, it was right up there in quality with the Browning, and some people like them better. Back to you for transmission. Thanks for bringing it by.
20.
Okay. Hey, Harvey. How's it going? All right. Now I almost forgot what I was going to say. I think that if, at least with this radio, you felt you got your money's worth, I think, out of these. Because it's big, it's heavy, it lights up, and you kind of feel like, well, you know, it's way too much money, but you know, hey, it's worth it. This is a communications machine, and I'm glad it's working. This is only the second time I've checked it in. I felt it was time, and it seems I successfully dodged here in between rainstorms. It was raining when I was out here earlier, but it seems like it's lightened up. Probably as soon as I unkey, it's going to start raining again. So I'll send it back to you, and thanks for letting me check it in.
All right, and thanks for checking it in. And Harvey, I hear you. Do you have a radio or you have a comment? If you've got a radio, you'll be number 3 after Sean. If you got a comment, go ahead.
Radio.
Okay, head over to the green room, and we'll catch you in moments. But the 2A sounding very good. Thank you. Thank you, Cliff. Does a good job. And, that is non-amplified D104. Is that what you said? Over?
Yes, sir. It's my only non-amplified D104, and it seemed to work reasonably well with this, so it's what we went with. It's no amplification. There's nobody home in the base of this thing.
Okay, so what was the progression? Tram, Titan, Titan 2, Titan 2A, and then they had the Diamond, the D201, but they also had a 3 and a 4, I think. So I'm not sure how they split that off, and I'm not sure if that's a point. If the 2A is a point-to-point, well, Harvey will tell us when he checks in if that was a point-to-point wiring, or if that's on a circuit board. Radio number 2, Tram Titan 2A from who asked 1971. It didn't list multiple years, so it might have been the only year they made them in the late 70s, 71. $495, $500. What was the Brownings at that time? They were at probably about $100 more. So always the Trams and the Brownings sort of vying for high-priced radio. The Couriers And the sonars were up there in the $300 range. Any radio that had sideband on it, you could add an extra $100. You know, the general radio telephones, though, were still below $200, but they didn't have sideband as well. All right. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radio's glowing in the dark. Jingle Singers, we're going to stand by. And, you know, I didn't... And Sean, you're next. So, Sean, come up in the air chair. I didn't get the pen, the pocket protector pen. And now Charlie's saying we don't have one. Don't we have... Oh, okay. You know what you can do is give me a tweaker. Yeah, thank you. All right. He found a greenie for me. I got to have something to put in the pocket protector. All right, because otherwise people would think I'm a nerd. Let's go over to SWL14. Hello, Sean, over.
Hello, Dennis, SWL14. I'd like to check in my Browning Golden Eagle Mark IV this evening.
All right, if you thought the $500 radio was expensive in 1971, how about a close to $900 radio in 1977? The Browning Golden Eagle Mark IV. I will bring up our less than stellar picture. You know what? I've got a brochure. They spent, they got a $900 radio, and so they have this really great bifold color brochure showing the transmitter receiver, still the same combination. There was a special desk mic that went with that. It wasn't the banana style mic. It looked like a Turner kind of sidekick microphone. But anyways, you're sounding good from Sanger tonight. Take a transmission.
Yeah, I'm on a amplified Silver Eagle D104 microphone. And I wanted to say that Cliff's radio sounds really good. The tram, I don't have a signal on him, but the audio is real clear and real loud out here in Sanger tonight.
Yeah, we got good conditions, and the way that radio is set on his Tram Titan, some good punchy audio, which is what the Brownings did. We'll take a look at your signal. I think you come through pretty good on the Larry Cam because you're closer there. We'll see what you are doing. 40 channels, I think, both sides. And to operate that radio, you do have to do, and I didn't ask the question of Cliff, but obviously he had a separate transmitter and receiver. So you've got some type of spotting, dialing up to get those radios to match, right?
No, what I do is I just take and turn the LED to channel 11, and I sit there and fiddle with the receiver. I pressed the spot button before, but I had a problem with the radio, so I tend not to use it.
Okay, well, it's another button, another thing to break. I think it puts a little small transmission in the receiver, and then you would peak your S meter for maximum smoke. But and obviously, if the dial's calibrated correctly, you can do just what you said, is get the dial to the right frequency or the number if they have both, which I think they do. And then when a station comes in, assuming they're not a frequency, you will be right there, and you can dial in the left to right flavor without an issue. And the microphonium you are using, once again?
Yeah, it's a amplified D104, the Silver Eagle. This Browning, when I adjust the receive on it, when the radio's cold, it's always a little low, and then as it warms up about 20 minutes, you kind of bring it, and it gets closer to the middle of the number 11. So you kind of have to, adjust it and work with the radio.
Yeah, well, that's the fun. You've got to drive these things. All right, big picture. Let me see. Bring up the audio. Here's your playback.
You kind of bring it, and it gets closer to the middle of the number 11. So you kind of have to, adjust it. And work.
All right, audio from the Larry Cam. The picture looks really good. That has got 1, 2, 3, 4. You're 8K wide, no problem on the output. Very clean. Again, it's probably missing a little bit of the low frequencies, but that's the Browning, big in the mid and high mids, which is the way they like it. and a little bit low on frequency. I don't know if that one, like the tram, when you adjust the control, if you can change your transmit frequency or not when you're on AM, but you're not far off at all. Over.
Yeah, no, there's nothing that I can adjust on it other than the speed in which the channel selector flies through the numbers there. The only guy that could probably get it a little closer would be Harvey if something goes wrong, but I'm pretty happy with it. I think it sounds a lot better than any of my other radios when I'm on sideband. I can't seem to get anything dialed in there.
Sideband is tricky. It's tricky on the transmit and the receive on a Browning with the dual items of interest. And what happens is you've got a separate VFO for each side. So you've got to listen to, the station to which you are listening may not be on the frequency which you are transmitting. So sometimes you kind of you end up chasing each other around. But yeah, give it a shot. As you know, on Friday nights in the Ditch Banks Net, give it a shot, and I'm sure Ron will work with you. $1 in 1971 is equivalent to purchasing power about $7.62 today. So what was this radio? Like $800 times 7. So this is equivalent to thousands of dollars. Oh, hello to Mark 4799, Voodoo Audio, listening in 8K wide on the Browning. That's not bad. Collins mechanical filters and all sorts of stuff in the Browning tonight. Also, hello to Big Rich 6520, who can make his voice sound good, whether it's 4K, 8K, or if he's in the 15K studio on the high-dollar microphonium. So back to you, Sean. It sounds good. Take another transmission, and thanks for bringing by radio number 2.
Yeah, I sure appreciate you taking the time to set all this stuff up and, put it out there on the internet so a guy can hear what he sounds like. And thanks for the time tonight, Dennis. Appreciate it. Thanks.
No problem. From 1977, showing the price at $8.95. The last of the Browning radios, and I think some of them may have been assembled outside the plant, but this one sounds like it's a good deal and the real thing. Let me go to the control room before Harvey. Go ahead and step up into the air chair. We'll get you next. I wanted to do some paperwork here with SWL 92 is on the screen. Joining us tonight, if I can find, I bury the shortwave listener list when I bring out the tube radios. But Mr. Roman, hello, radio. And thanks for popping in to us tonight. We've got some great stuff going on. Let me see if it's Mr. Harvey all the time. Over.
Okay, I'm here. Number 20 with the radio that didn't work that well last week. The Pierce Simpson Guardian 23B.
Oh, I don't remember it not working that well, but I remember the Pierce Simpson Guardian, and of course all the Guardians worked well last week. So I'll bring up, I think I've got a shot of a 23B, which is not really much different, I think, physically, than the 23, if I can get it up on the screen here. So go ahead and take a transmission.
Okay. The main difference that I have found is there's a circuit board right next to the mic plug input. It's got a transistor, a bunch of resistors, electrolytic cap, some ceramic caps, etc., and it's a mic amplifier. Anyway, that's the difference that I noticed. Also, Sam says the modulator tube and the final should be 6CZ5, but 6EM5s are in this one, along with my 23, Guardian 23, and Cliff's Guardian 23. So they made a tube change. Excuse me. They're not interchangeable. So they should have done something with Sam's to reflect that, but they didn't. Anyway, I also installed a meter light because it's got a small meter, a little hard to read, not much light, but now it's got light. Anyway, and I'm going to do one other modification to it later on. So, but this is the Guardian 23B. I've got an amp D104 on it. I probably don't need it though.
All right. Well, here's there's the audio.
And I'm going to do one other modification to it.
All right, that's coming out of the Larry Cam. We're looking at the picture right now. It's got an interesting. The carrier is definitely not super stable, but I don't know if that's because the audio is coming in or not. So we'll have you transmit without audio. Good. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6K wide, and you are. Oh, I can't tell exactly. Maybe 100 cycles low. No, probably 50 cycles. So it's on the low side. It looks good, though. It sounds really good. We can't really hear the anomaly on the carrier. And the audio is nice and loud. And I apologize for those that were looking at the picture. This picture I have, it looks like something, somebody pulled it out of the back of the shed. It is dusty. It's got Dymo labels pulled off. So maybe I'll find the Guardian 23, which is similar, but to give a better picture. But you get an idea. Got the very small S meter lined up with the modulation neon light, the channel selector in the front, the mid-century modern, styling with the squared off front pieces. Pierce Simpson was good for that, but it's working well. When you key down, or is it key up? When you take a transmission the next time, give it about 3 seconds before you start talking. I want to see if that clears up the waiver on the carrier. Over.
You can see it waver a bit.
All right, and I've got the display coming up. That's me. That's my prior transmission, and then you should be talking. I want to see if that coming up here. So here we go. Waiver on the carrier. Over. So here comes the carrier, and you can see it kick in. It comes on frequency, nice and stable. And so, yeah, okay, it's induced as you're talking. Other than that, it's stable. Over.
Well, this mic picks up everything. Oh yeah. And on my next transmission, I want Cliff to look at his meter.
Okay, assuming he has a meter to look at. Over. And speaking of Cliff, here is a very nice looking, courtesy of Cliff, Guardian. It's the Pierce Simpson Guardian, but not the 23B, but that's the way they should look. It's got the case. They run hot. They've got their convection cooling slots on the side. But nice audio. All right, well, radio number 3 is doing a good job. And if it was, I can't remember how it was playing last week, but it's certainly playing good this week. Over.
Okay. This is for Cliff. He said I was hitting him at 40 before. I want to see if I can push it a little bit farther.
All right, well, I brought up the S meter. You definitely pushed it. I think the audio is suffering. It's a little bit too much audio now.
Okay, I can back off the mic. Okay. Let's see if Cliff can tell me if it's a little more than 40.
I have a feeling he is not in the radio lounge anymore.
It's been raining, so he was probably, as he told me before, almost sitting in a puddle. So if he went in, he went in.
All right, well, it is, he'll see it on the replay if he watches the video. Someone mentioning there is no audio on Echolink, and that is correct. Echolink is more of a, in fact, you know what? After we get done with this, I'll do the Echolink connection for a quick connection to Al out in Nevada, and that's how it works. We just use it for a check-in device, but I'm not streaming the audio over the Echolink just because of some technical things. I guess we could do that, but I may want to have it so if somebody needs to check in or say something, we can grab them that way if we can't hear them due to skip. Radio number 3, the Pierce Simpson Guardian 23 Bravo. Top of the line for Pierce Simpson at that time, and of course anybody that has been in the CB realm for a while probably had a Pierce Simpson transistorized radio, because they made some really nice, really big, really fancy, multi-knobbed Simbas and whatever radios in the right after these in the early 1970s and throughout, and they were pretty good quality, just like this one. So it is doing well. I hope you are done peeking and tweaking, because I think it's good.
Hell yeah. I put, as I mentioned, a meter light in it. It was real easy to do. The meter adjust for receive is easy to get to, but it has none for transmit, and it's off. Like I did keep around 6 or 7, and it wants to go too far up. So I looked at the schematic, and I think I found a way to be able to put something in to adjust that. And then I'll be happy. But anyway, it's the Guardian 23B, as in better. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, thanks for stopping by. I want to check. Oh, I am on the Orban. When I check my audio, yeah, there's a little bit of that static from the audio board coming through. All right, we're going to do a quick. Let me dial this up here, but I want to do a quick Echolink link before we check the next radio. And you should be, if you're at Echolink, you should be hearing some audio now. So let me give a call out to KI6CBA, KB6GFD. Take a transmission now. And depending on where you're listening, because there's a delay between the internet, the delay between the live stuff, and a delay elsewhere. Just seeing if we can get the Echolink linked up. All right, let's try it. Who else is? Gary's out there. Kilowatt Bravo 8 Uniform Golf Portugal. If you hear me, Gary, go ahead and take a transmission on the Echolink KB6GFD. Yeah, I am here. We're just seeing if we can get an Echolink link coming up. Go ahead. Hang on, Harvey.
KD8UGP, Gary out here in Shinston, West Virginia. I hope I'm being heard down there. My audio's kind of low here for some reason. Let's see here. Okay, I'll just have to work with it there, but I think I'm making it in there okay. I had to turn the YouTube off there because I was getting an echo on it there. But I did see it's working okay. So I'm going to turn it back to you there, Bob. It's KD8UGP, Gary in Shinston, West Virginia. And I'm also been hearing bits and pieces of some of the transmission people have been making on 11 meters from out there. For some reason, I don't know whether I'm getting a sporadic E-skip or maybe a long wave ground skip, I don't know. So back to you there, Bob. KD8UGP.
All right, no, you're making it through, and thanks for joining us. Always see your incoming from Shinston, West Virginia. And it's very possible we're getting some type of skip floating through. Thanks for pointing the beams this way. The Echolink sounds good. Audio's a little low, but I can adjust my receive on that. So that's the link, and we do just what we're doing here, just a link to say hello, find out what's happening, and if the skip is running in. So thanks for joining us. I think it's Gary. I know you. I've seen you on the stream list for quite a few times, so that's good that you can join us on the Echolink. All right, take another transmission, and we'll pick up somebody else before we take another radio, but it's sounding good, so hopefully we can make the trip over the air sometime. KB6GFD.
Okay, Bob, it's nice talking, chatting here with you and everything. Yeah, the Echolink is working. I'll have to bring up the audio because I have my audio set down low because I use it for digital communications there and some other things there. So I'm going to go back over there on YouTube there, get back in there, and watch it all from there. So this is KB8UGP, Gary here in Shinston, West Virginia on the Old Time Radio Network. 73.
All right, 73. Let me see. I see that 23 Skidoo is in, and we might maybe get an update, or is it a down date from Mitch and the gang out there? So, Mitch, if you're hearing me, go ahead and take a transmission, KB6GFD. All right, can't see. We might be able to get 23 Skidoo up on the link here.
Well, good evening there, Dennis, and hello to all the SWLs out there. Greetings from 23 Skidoo here in rainy Santa Cruz, California, where the sharks are under the waves tonight because it's just coming down way too hard for those guys to have a good time out there in Shark Park. Anyhow, hello, Dennis. It's been a while, and good to hear you guys in there. Shout out to Harvey on that nice Pierce Simpson radio we just heard. I actually have one of those, and I store it in the closet right next to my 959. So there you go, Guardian of the Galaxy. Back to you.
All right, back to me in the studio. Very good. Well, it should always have a place on the shelf next to something. They said they sound good. All right, good to hear you. You're sounding good. Thanks for jumping in. And yeah, it is raining up and down the state. That's probably not a bad thing, but hopefully we won't get too much. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Old Tube Radio Network, KB6GFD.
KA3 TEB 73.
All right, and KI6CBA Al, are you hearing us? Are you able to take a transmission? All right, just wanted to see if we could get Al on the Echolink. I will going to jump over to the Jingle Singers, and then we'll be listening for more radio check-ins on your... I don't even know if we're linked up to the studio. Let's try it. Your Old Tube Radio Network. Okay, well, looks like we got them.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
I've got the board reconfigured bypass, so a lot of times I don't know where everything is, where it's coming in, so if I hit the wrong control and you hear more than you should, that is probably why. All right, standing by, listening for radio number 4, over.
Hey, Dennis?
This is the basic Dennis, over.
Yeah, am I still low?
I don't know. I'll have to defer to the Larry Cam, because if you're close, I don't get the zero beats. So let me pop over to the camera and see where you show up, when you show up, if you show up. Here we go. All right, there is your key up. There's me. There's your key up. It swings in, and it is exactly in the same. Actually, it looks like it might have went the lower. It looks like you're lower than you were.
Okay. I thought I had it, and then I moved it. That's going down. Okay. Well, I thought I had it, but I guess I didn't. Come here. Oh, wait, now it's going up. Come on.
All right, let's jump into the camera here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, there we go. Went up, went down. Sounds like a bad pod. There we go.
Come on.
Went down, went up, went way, way, way down. Started to come back up.
Yeah, I guess that's about as far as I'm going to get.
Yeah, probably. Good.
Right about there.
Yep, I think that's it. That's where you had. And I think that's where you were when you keyed in last time. You can see, I put the display up. You can see you turn it and it wiggles and it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down. So where you were that last spot, it's up, now it's going down, now it's going back down. I'm seeing where you are. Let's see, where are you on the audio here?
Right about there.
Right about there. All right, and right about there is right about there. Yeah, that's you might have got a Scotia, but I mean we're not going to hear 10 cycles, so I think you've got it. Over.
Okay, I'm making a notation, actually writing it down, because if I'm trying to remember, that won't work. Okay, the transmit oscillator tube has not even been changed. None of the tubes have been changed. Everything is the way I found it, tube-wise. I did replace the bad caps. It was humming last time. I had a hum. And I got rid of that. But can't seem to figure out how to get the frequency. Well, I know what the problem is with the frequency, but I don't want to mess with it unless I find that it's not a tube problem. Let's see. I moved something a little bit, but I don't think that did anything. Okay, that should do it for this radio for now. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, and you are not that far off. I mean, you're probably less than 100 cycles. It's not that far off. It's pretty close. It would definitely not be discernible unless someone was transmitting at the same time with you or something. But other than that, you are A-OK, no problems. What do they say? What do they say on Citizen Band Radio? You are wall-to-wall and treetop tall. Over.
Alrighty. I can't get up in the trees anymore, so I'll just have to settle for what you just said. Thank you.
All right, very good. The Old Tube Radio Network, Jingle Singers, and I will be standing by. We do have a little time if you'd like to check in your radio. We are listening after this.
You're listening in the latest style at
27.085 megahertz.
your dial. That's
Channel 11, Old Tube Radio,
in wonderful
Fresno, California.
Wonderful, Fresno. And from wonderful Fresno out to wonderful Sangertown, 14. Go ahead, you are radio number 4.
Yeah, I wanted to check in my Cobra Cam 88 this evening as well.
All right, good. The Cobra is always a good one to check in when we have the big time meter in. The Cam 88. I've got my standard stock picture, which I will put up. It's not the best, but it does give a view of the two versions that we know of, with the range expand or the range boost and not. But other than that, it's a good job. Take a transmission. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, it's the Cobra Cam 88 B&K microphone, the stock microphone that I'm talking on. It's also the Cobra Cam 88 with the modulation light and the range boost or dyna boost. I can't really see it. I got the lights turned down right now. But yeah, hopefully it's close to on frequency tonight on the Larry Cam as well.
And I'm going to head over to that right now, where I to be able to find it. You should be up on the screen, I think. We'll bring up the audio. Okay, there it is. There's a transmission. Wow, looks pretty good. Let's see if that's you.
On the range boost or dyna boost, I can't really see it. I got the lights turned down right now.
Okay, so that's the audio through the audio. But boy, you are right on frequency. Good 1, 2, 3. Good audio flavor on the low frequencies. You got some good high mids, and peaks out to at least 6K coming in there on the peak. So not bad. Boy, that radio is right on frequency. Over.
Well, that's a good thing. I got a question. I know a lot of times they say, the Browning doesn't need an amplified microphone, but if I switched to say a D104 microphone, would that help bring in some more highs in the audio, or is it not even needed?
Probably not needed, but in theory it would. It would not accentuate the low frequencies as much typically. Now, were it to go just the opposite and roll them off, I don't know. So typically, unless your audio is muddy, that's like it's got the wrong bass notes, then you'd want to get rid of that. But yours isn't that way. So adding some high frequency punch without rolling off the bass could be done. You'd have to see what flavor of D104 you had, because they're all different. Now, the amplification, that's another story, because sometimes you can get the amplification, and then you have to, if the radio's set for a non-amplified mic, you might have to turn it way down. And then, of course, if you get too much amplification, then your highs get scratchy and mushy. So it is one of those tap dances to get just the right sound, which you are pretty close to having right now, but always worth a try. Over.
Yeah, the only thing is that this radio has such an oddball plug on it that would hinder my swapping of microphones. But it is the original microphone, and hopefully it works pretty good. I'm thinking. I've never taken it apart. I've heard Joe talk about taking them apart and cleaning the screen, so that may be something I might fiddle with it someday. But I do keep a sock over it, like all the other microphones, where I'm not using them, to try and keep any debris or dust out of them.
Yeah, that helps. And I'm comparing your signal now, if you watch the replay, and then you're just coming in, you can see the low frequencies are pretty much similar to what I'm doing. I've got a little bit more high frequency, but that's because I'm pushing it with all the audio gear. So yeah, if you were to have some extra psychoacoustic flavor, perhaps, you could push that out. Looks like it has certainly the bandwidth. But other than that, it's steady carrier, looks good, and not bad at all. So you could play around with how much gain you could actually get without making it distorted or overmodulated. But it does sound good. Over.
Yeah, the other question I had for you is, you said the Browning was 8K wide on the audio, and I'm looking at this one in comparison to your audio, and it's just a little smaller than yours and about half as much as the Browning. So is that a bad thing, the 8K audio, or is that related to the high frequencies that radio produces?
Yeah, it's a relation of the filters that are in the radio, were there to be filters, because 6K is the standard. I don't know if the FCC had something issued for citizen band, but 6 kilohertz is a standard sort of ham radio, CB radio width. On broadcast radio, like off your AM car radio, it's 10 kilohertz. Shortwave listeners like that. So then it depends on where your energy is within that 6 kilohertz, and you can see yours is very similar to what mine is. But I'm actually pushing the 4 and 5K with my audio rack. So I'm doing a little trickery and pushing the limits by using compression and limiting. So yeah, you could probably get the same amount were you to you could try the amplified microphone. If that does it the right way, sometimes it puts too much. Or you'd have to run some type of a compressor unit and do it that way. But the Cobra Cam 880 is certainly doable. It's a very capable transmitter, and the 8K is not a problem. Most people are only going to be listening 6 kilohertz wide anyway. But if somebody's got a 8K receiver, if they've got full fidelity speakers going on, typically the wider the better for fidelity. But you've got to fill up the cup right too.
appreciate the intel there. I was very curious about that. Yeah, I do. I like this Cobra Cam 88 radio. It's got a good receive on it. The sound, I enjoy listening to it as well. And that's what I'll be finishing the OTR on tonight, is the Cobra Cam 88 as I listen to it.
All right, glad you brought it by. You've added another radio to our list, and maybe somebody out there is thinking about getting one and wants to know what it sounds like. We've got a picture of what it looks like. Maybe they've got one they need to repair. I think it was $47.99. Mark says he's got a Cobra Cam 88, but is missing a meter, or the meter has come some malfeasance. So we'll keep a lookout if we can't get a meter that way. But anyway, it's looking good. You are radio number 4, and thanks for bringing it by.
I'll be in 1 minute. Dennis, thanks for the time.
All right, 37 will be joining us shortly. The Jingle Singers are joining us right now.
What are the magic numbers?
27.085 megahertz, channel 11.
Are the magic letters?
OTR.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Radio Magic.
Old Tube Radio.
For you.
The Jingle Singers doing reruns? I thought we heard that one before. Anybody listening week after week is saying they've been doing reruns for the last 35 years. But that's okay. They do a good job, and they don't get paid much. That's even better.
Hello, radio.
This is your Hello Radio. I've got a mic shadow. They said, oh, it's over there. All right, this is your Hello Radio frequency. Go ahead.
All right, Dennis. I was watching a good, funny movie in there, so I'm sorry I didn't make it here in time. But I guess you're almost done. I'm not sure. But anyway, can I check in this radio if I may, please?
Yeah, we have a couple of minutes left to go here. I have plenty of space on the tube radio list, and you have an old tube radio network, a perfect combination on a Saturday night. Take a transmission.
Thank you very much. All right, Dennis, I would like to check in my general radio telephone, the Super MC11A. This is the 24-channel version of all those wonderful general radio telephones, and we are running this here with a non-amplified stock original microphone. Over.
Stock microphone. That was our question earlier. You know, sometimes if the radio is set up right and you have the original microphonium and it's made well and not in bad shape, you really don't need to do anything. I can't imagine that speaking about switching microphones, that putting any other type of microphone on that would make much of a difference. I mean, it got a lot better. I think you could make it a lot worse by switching microphones. Now, were you to have a larger audio system like I do, where you can put a little compression and tweak on the equalizer, yeah. But out of the box, sounding good and looking good. From beautiful downtown Burbank, and I believe the early 1970s, just before General Radio Telephone was going to sell out to Skyhawk Communications, they produced this beauty of a radio, and here it is. Take a transmission.
Gosh, you make it sound so great. But anyway, I do thank you, Dennis. Yes, and this one here, it's been working for quite some time, I have to admit. What is it, $17.50 senior citizen discount. Can't complain.
Not at all. You were in the right spot at the right time, and like we were talking before, and Greg, S9 Radio talks about having the proper tubes in the proper place, and then specific tubes that are geared for, especially 12AX7s, geared for audio or geared for music or whatever you're doing. I think that radio has them all, and of course, it doesn't get used too much, but that's why we are here on Saturdays, because sometimes you got to start the engine, warm up the car, get the fluids flowing, and it's a good thing, and you're sounding good. A OTR favorite.
Well, here not long ago, probably a couple months back, but when the skip was starting and everything, I actually tried this one time. I got down the bowl, believe it or not. I had my little helper. I did turn on some help, I have to admit. It was only 100 and some odd watts only, but anyway, hey, East Coast heard me with no trouble.
And as well they should. Let me bring up, where is it? Bring up the Larry cam here. You should be popping in just a minute. Let's see where we are on the audio. There you go.
Here not long ago, probably a couple months back, but when the skip was starting and everything, I actually...
So there's the audio. That's out of Larry's receiver, out of my radio, out of my receiver to your receiver. He's up a little low on frequency, not bad at all. Good, solid carrier in there. Lots of good low, mid frequencies right in the right spot. And you're going out to at least 6K, I think. So there is not a problem. It sounds good and it looks good over.
Well, thank you. At least it's still working. I have to... there was one time Harvey had to do one little thing, had to fix one little tiny problem on it years ago. That was the only problem I ever had.
Yeah, and other than that, well, I would say it takes a licking, but it doesn't. You treat it very nice, but it does keep on ticking.
Well, I always save it just mainly for this night.
General Radio Telephone Company, the Super MC11. The MC was called their Master Control, I think was the name. They had a VS vibration service, but this was the radio that in theory would be on the desk base, and if you had a company or a mobile unit, you would buy one of their other radios. It is 9 tubes. That's all it needs to do. Well, the Tram Titan A was 15 tubes, but they need an extra tube or two, at least one, to do sideband. But General Radio Telephone figured out how to do it with 9, and I think these were in the mid $200 range. Let's see, they're 9 tubes, 2 transistors. It does run 12 volts. That's what the transistors are for. Sam's PhotoFax 22, page 45, the ECLL 800. I don't know of any other radios that use that for a final output modulator, but General Radio Telephone did, and of course the 12AX7A for that mic preamp. Sounding good. Glad you broke away from the festivities to sneak a transmission on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Absolutely. I thank you for being there. All right, Dennis, I'm going to turn this thing off and get back on the other thing. I was just sitting here thinking of Dennis, the other Dennis, 1017. I could always call this here the Super Marine Corps 11A.
And it's 24 channels, too.
Absolutely. I'm out of here. Thank you, Dennis. I'm gone.
All right, I'm looking at the time. I'm going to see if we can't link up. I'm going to warm it up here. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. But go to the Squamish receiver. Looks like it's up and running. See, we got a little bit of audio. All right, we're up and running up in Squamish, so I'll leave that up in the background in case they're listening, want to take a transmission. We'll see if we can't. We did pretty good. We got some Echolink contacts via the Universal Media Network. Here we're going to try one radio to radio through outer space and see how that works. Your Old Tube Radio Network.
I'll just write this one down.
All right, I have pen in hand for radio number 6.
The Browning Golden Beagle R68 T68 by Browning Laboratories. Custom D104, got the Browning medallion on the back of the head of the D104. Alrighty, that should do it for me tonight. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, the Beagle sounding good as always, and likewise the Pierce Simpson. Whatever you did, I think you did it okay, because it sounds good. Radio number 6, the Browning R68 T68 from, I don't know, 18 months, 15 months, from 66, 67, in between the Eagle and the Mark II. And we're going to do some counting and mounting. We're listening to see if... Oh, you know what? I'm on the wrong frequency. Oh, my gosh. We're on 27075. So if you guys are out there, that's why I'm not hearing you. So my fault. It came up on channel 10. So we're listening on channel 11. There we go. Here it comes. All right, plus 3 is sounding good. Now that I'm on the right frequency, looking good on the scope tonight, live over the air, through the air from Squamish, British Columbia down here to Fresno.
10 a.m. inside my house. Thanks a lot there, Dennis.
And an indoor antenna? Yeah, you guys must do a good job on an indoor antenna.
Yeah, 10-4, I got my Wilson 1000 inside my living room.
That's amazing. That is a really strong signal and really good audio.
Worldwide, as Dennis would say. Yeah, 10-4 running stock with a PC Uniden, a Uniden 120. Worldwide, as Dennis would say. Thank you kindly.
All right, 73 guys. Thanks for joining us on the Old Tube Radio Network. All the audio is sounding good as always from Squamish, British Columbia. All right, we will be, where do the lights go? We will be counting and amounting on the Old Tube Radio Network back in a moment after this.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
Yeah, the Old Tube Radio Network. You know what? I'm doing some counting and amounting here. We've heard from the Squamish boys. And I want to check with Chet. When ETC was here last time, I think you actually purchased one of their CDs. Oh, they didn't have CDs. What did they? Oh, one of their 8-tracks. All right. Well, see, I don't know if the 8-track player is working, so stand by. After I do the counting and mounting, we are going to, and it might not work. So I don't want to get the hopes up too high. But we're gonna take the 8-track, and I think it's wired in. We'll stick it to the player here at the end of the program, and we will go out with some music that I can play, copyrighted, made especially for the Old Tube Radio Network. YouTube will not block this one. Anyway, that'll be coming up here in a minute or two. Counting and mounting, and I will be right back on the Old Tube Radio Network. All right, I'm back, and I do a lock to talk. See if that works here.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
All right, the current, wow, I've got a lot of audio there. Current and final totals here tonight on your Old Tube Radio Network. What did we do? We had 6 radio check-ins tonight, one of which you see up there. I'll go ahead and clear that out. Heard from various places here around the Central Valley of California, and Echolink tonight did pretty good listening in there, and some live check-ins from the Squamish boys. 6 radios tonight. The most heard manufacturer, was there one? I guess it was the Brownings with 2. Tram Titan 2A We started off with Green Arrow with that very nice looking wood, semi-wood case, Naugahyde top. Get out the Lemon Pledge, and you'll have your radio good to go. Browning Golden Eagle Mark IV from Sean. I would say they're rare, but I keep seeing them online, and we've got at least one here checking in. When you ask somebody what their favorite Browning is, the 4, the 3, and the 2 always show up. Not necessarily in that order. Thanks, Sean. Sounding good tonight. The Pierce Simpson Guardian 23B, a repeat performance, all dressed up with nowhere to go. Anyway, Harvey, it sounds good. You can hear the replay on the video or going to oldtuberadio.net, and there's an archive button. You look for the date and whether it's a tube or a SWL check-in, and that should play back just fine. The Cobra Cam 88 out of Sanger doing its Cobra audio thing for you Cobra fans. The General Radio Telephone Super MC11A, beautiful downtown Burbank, and some great stock audio. Yeah, you didn't need to have, if you did it right, you didn't need to have amplified microphoniums and all of that. And in the days before, the FCC said, these radios sound too good. Those amateur guys are getting upset. so put in some limiters and compressors and tone it down. Well, yeah, we're tired of those guys getting down. That was Radio 5. And Radio 6, you just heard moments ago, the Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68. Wanted to check out the transmitter. I am looking. He's searching. What did you find? Did you come up with the 8-track? Going to load it in the machine. Oh, now it's crashing. Well, wait a minute. It was there moments ago. Hold on just a second. All right, it looks like it came back, and I don't even know if the machine is hooked up. So just go ahead. I just want you to. I don't even know what you've got. Yeah, just plug it in the machine, and if it's there, it's there. If not, we'll go out. Anyway, the Old Tube Radio Network, thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. And here we go.
I've come to shoot skip once again, because my linear softly tweaking pinned your meter while I was speaking, and the audio that punched through your RF gain is not to blame. It's just the sounds of DX. In restless dreams I talked alone, when no DX could reach my zone. Neath the halo of an old tube man, I keep my mic down like a DX jam. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of my on-air light, it lit the night and filled my ears with DX. And in the distant night I heard an eagle sing an AQ bird. People talking without breaking, people talking about nothing, people keying old tube rigs that crackle through the air without a care, and fill the waves with DX. I said, bros, you do not know how to work an oscilloscope. Watch my TikToks that I might teach you. Swing your beam so that I might reach you. But my words, like burnt out finals fell, it's just as well echoed in the walls of my shack. The operators bowed and prayed to the noise they had made, and the scope flashed out its warning in the waves that it was forming. Net control said the words of the text are written in the photo facts and CB tricks, and whisper in the sound of DX.
Great, OTR.
Okay, this is KB8UGP. I think I got my mic gain up now. Got it fixed. Boz, how's it sound out there?
All right, let me see if I'm on the Echo link. I just got the transmitter clear. Yeah, you've got audio now, over.
Roger. Yeah, I just went in there and reset it there. I had it set up for digital. There, I was running some digital and stuff there earlier there today. So I went in there and turned it back up there, Roger.
Yeah, it's got... it's where it should be now. It was a little low before, but I could hear it, but now it's about where it needs to be.
Yeah, I've been playing around with some different radios around here, kind of prepping a little bit. I got a closet full of mobile radios from back in the 70s there. My most favorite one in there is the old JHC pen scanner type CD radio there. And it has a system out there where you can set it up between two frequencies there and be able to scan between the two. But it's a pretty cool little radio there for its day there, Roger.
Yeah, the JC pennies were good. I don't know if it was Uniden chassis. I think a lot of people liked them because they were easily modifiable to get, if they weren't 40 channels already, to do 40 channels. So good deal. All right, I'm going to shut the item down here, but it looks good. Yeah, we don't do the audio, the streaming audio over the Echo line. We keep it more for just quick contacts for check-in. Somebody was asking about that. So if you need the audio, you got to go onto the stream. But for a quick check-in or a link like that, works great.
Roger. Yeah, I was calling out to you guys there on channel 11 there on that Connex there, and I thought I heard a couple of people there talking, especially the guy from up there in Canada. I just had a more or less like a voice print on him, so I tried to give a shout out there because I haven't made contact out west this late at night before when the conditions are right there, and it was almost there, but not quite there. So I'm not going to give it up, trying to give a call out there this time of night there. So I'm just going to keep trying that. Okay, Boz, you guys have a good evening there, and I'm going to jump off here. I got some other stuff I want to do there. I'm a CW nut there. I make a lot of different type of CW keys and stuff like that, 3D printing keys and stuff, and I kind of stay active on that too. I try to use all aspects of radio there and keep it alive there, but we do need some more good sea beers here in West Virginia to get a net started, but there's just nobody around. And it's like on Cineplex, there's nobody around on there more either. So you guys take care there. I'll say 73 in your file there. KB8UGP in West Virginia.
All right, yeah, it's good to know that there's something going on. The same way here, the repeater is not like going to Los Angeles or San Francisco where they're all busy, but here in the central part of the state, it's not all that busy. And this is about the only thing going on a Saturday evening, but we've been doing it since the mid-1980s, so we are glad that people still want to join in and bring the radios out. That's a good thing. All right, 73 to you. Thanks for joining us, and maybe I'll catch you on the airwaves. I guess there's a big CW contest going on this weekend, so maybe they're putting the keys to good use. 73, KB6G update.